Our candid share today is a drive. It's a little bit of a round trip down through Kingston, into Margate, past Snug, and down into Kettering, where you'd take the ferry across to Bruny Island. Go a little bit further down near Woodbridge, you'll come to Peppermint Bay Restaurant, and if you turn right at that intersection, you can follow that road up and you'll see the signage to Hartsview Vineyard. Following Hartsview Vineyard, we then made our way back through Cygnet and Huonville. We picked up a little bit of lunch at Cygnet, a great steak sandwich from the takeaway shop, I must add. And in through Huonville, you'll see lots of fruit farms, and we picked up some cherries on the way back. We are at Hartsview in Tasmania. We've come up for a bit of a drive. We're a bit bored at home because we've been intentionally locking ourselves in to try and avoid Omicron, but it's called Hartsview. It's over in the distance. That's Harts Mountain. Hartsview is nestled in amongst the hills. It's a beautiful scenic spot, and they also have a little historic village, I suppose you could call it, made up of picker huts. The people who used to come and pick the vines, and I will show you through those a bit later. First things first, it's time to go in and check out the cellar door sales and have a bit of a taste test. It was at this point that we got a little bit excited because we noticed that they weren't all just bottles of your standard wines that you can see at a winery, that there are actually some fortified wines here. Hello. Hello. It is $10 a tasting, which gives you 5 tastings. So between the two of us, we were able to have a little bit of a broader tasting, I suppose you could call it. And they often waive that tasting fee if you buy a bottle. The hardest thing was actually trying to make a choice because all of these particular fortified wines were absolutely delicious. There was also a multitude of different gift ideas that you could take from the little shop outlet that they had, and they do sell down at Salamanca on a Saturday morning, so if you are in Hobart and you might not want to take the trip down, which I highly suggest you do, you can always pick these up at Salamanca Market on a Saturday morning.
Really nice gifts.
We loaded ourselves up. I mean, we are in self-imposed lockdown, of course, so you need something to whet the appetite late in the evening. We're about to have a look at some of the old pickers' cottages. Beds. If you have a look, it's really not, I reckon that'd be about 1.2 maybe. It's like a cottage made for elves. Hey? What's that? That was a bird. Dead bird. Pretty basic stuff. Sandra, you ran out of there pretty quick. Wanna keep going? Yeah, it's exciting. It's the most exciting thing I've done in 3 weeks. That's not really true, but could be. Cottage number 2. This is Rosa Marge's hut. This is called camping out. This is roughing it, isn't it? I remember the old fly spray cans? Yeah. We used to have these when I was little. Yeah, fill it up with some sort of chemical and you'd spray it all over your children. Yeah. Not going any further? I'm going for a walk with Jeff right now. He doesn't like going for walks. He just drives behind me slowly in the car like a stalker. One of those little huts. The birds have been in out here, but yeah. Picking grapes. View out to the grapes. Inga, who served us today, was absolutely lovely. They're not doing any sitting meals at the moment, so just to stand up tasting and get your bottle and go, obviously because that's the old Ommi, giving everybody a hard time.
Ommi.
The tastings, $10 for a tasting, but if you buy a bottle, they can waive that for you. And we had a selection of fortified wines to try, and rather than do the normal Chardonnay, Sauvignon ones. We've done a few wines, but
Accidentally bought 3 out.
we accidentally bought 3 because that's what you do. Where are you going? It's that way.
Yeah, well, I can't go that way.
Huh?
No, I can't go that way.
No, it's going through road.
So, this is going through road.
That being said, the bottles were pretty reasonably priced, really.
$42 a bottle?
Yeah, 40.
Usual for most of them.
42 a bottle. In some of the gin distilleries here around Tasmania, you're looking at $95, $100 a bottle, so that in comparison is a lot better. But the wines, the fortified wines, the blackcurrant, the cherry, all made from 100% fruit and all tasted absolutely delicious. The hardest thing we found was trying to pick which one we would like to take home with us.
That's why we took 3.
So I took 3.
Out of how many? 5, 6,
Oh,
7.
yeah.
There was blackberry, there was cherry, there was tawny port. Well, tawny, didn't call it port. There was an apple cider mead. There was raspberry, a cassis, which was
Cassis?
which is
The
a syrupy. Too sweet for me. I think that was about it. Okay.
It was.
Beautiful.
So a nice day out at Hartsview Winery.
Huge. A proper cherry.
Massive. Oh, it even tastes like a cherry.
It does. Proper cherry.
And the honey pot's across the road. Not going the honey pot.
That's tourism.
So it's the cherries.
You know what I mean?